The Truth Girls.
Hey everyone, I wanted to tell you something. Last night I went to this really big, huge Christian meeting service with a well-known faith healer, and I had gone the night before and I'd seen people get healed. I'd seen a number of deaf people get healed. Same thing the second night. And I brought my husband the second night, and as you know, my husband's paralyzed from the waist down. He has a right hand that's sort of half paralyzed. He's also has problems with his left arm. And you know, I was hoping that he would get healed, and not just like for his body, but for his faith. I so much wanted in my heart for him to experience God's power in that way, that he could never say, no, this didn't happen, or God can't do this for me, or God can't heal me. And so we were there, and I was hoping, you know, and he called people with certain different ailments, and there were a couple people with wheelchairs that were in the front, but in the end, he didn't do anything like specifically for my husband Aaron. And I was getting really more and more sort of frustrated over the course of the evening, and like angry. I was like, why? I was angry. I mean, I was feeling desperate. And at one point, like just in the whole, you know, meeting, I just put my hands on my husband, and I pulled his arm up, and I said, Lord, heal this arm in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. And, you know, in front of the whole assembly, I just like screamed that out, like yelled it out. And I was just hoping, I was like, maybe God will listen to me, you know, if I ask for this. You know, in the end, his hand wasn't healed, and I left, and I was like really frustrated. And I was thinking, why, you know, why isn't he healed? I woke up this morning, and instead of waking up feeling bitter or upset about it, I woke up feeling like so much joy. And I just realized that in those 2 days, I was healed of a lot of this like stress and anxiety that I was carrying around. And I felt like I had a clear word from God, which was that, you know, the people have maybe sometimes multiple infirmities, and the most important thing that God can heal is your heart. I mean, for me, this is the first thing that happened. That God healed my broken heart. Like, I had a lot of pain emotionally, and this was the first thing that God healed. You know, I also wear glasses. I mean, it could be that 20 years ago when I became a Christian, that I'd gone to a faith healer, and I'd gone up on stage, and I'd say, you know, heal my vision. And the guy did, and maybe I would see. And I would leave with my eyes healed, maybe not my heart healed. You know, I could go on my merry way. Thank you, Dr. Jesus. Don't need these anymore. And to leave. And yet afterwards have other things that need healing that are more important. So I realized that God does do things in His time, and He does things in the layers that need to be addressed. And so I accept, you know, I accept God's will. And it was like when I was struggling with infertility, and I went to church, I wanted so much to have a baby, and I was like, God, heal me, I want a baby. And then I realized what I need to be healed of first is my bitterness about my infertility. And I need to go and say, heal me of my bitterness, Lord. I glorify you. I give you all the glory, no matter what. Whether I am infertile, whether I have a baby or not, I give you all the glory anyway. I mean, my life is yours to do what you want me to do. And I did do that. And they did lay hands on me afterwards, and I did conceive. It was like within a month. I became pregnant with my son. But yay! But I do believe that what was more important than for God to just be like, okay, here's your baby, was for God to heal my heart of the bitterness. I accept that it wasn't God's will for my husband's hand to be healed, that God has other more important work to do in him, and I pray for that work to be done and to be accomplished, and for him to be healed on the inside and on the outside, but in God's time and in the steps that are going to happen. And I want to say to you also that if you have one thing, you say, why do I have this infirmity? I want to be healed of this. look inside at what are the things inside in your heart that you're carrying around that are hurting you also, and bring those before God. Bring them before God, but don't forget to bring the emotional, the hurt inside you. Don't forget to ask God to heal your heart. And maybe sometimes maybe that's what He needs to do first in you. So don't, despair and say, oh, God doesn't want to heal me because I still have whatever it is. Keep bringing it to God. God is healing you. He's not abandoning you. So I just want to encourage you, bring everything before God. Just trust God that He's going to heal what needs to be healed in His time, and that He hasn't abandoned you. So that's it. I just want to share that with you. God bless. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.